Welcome back, everyone, to episode, what is this? Episode 33. Damn,
Yeah.
we're getting kind of high.
Yeah, getting higher. We're
33
flying
of the
higher.
final. We're flying higher. That's always great to see. But yeah, thank you guys all for joining us. This week we're gonna be talking about Master and Apprentices, and it's just me and Hereth this week.
Yep.
So we're gonna just kind of talk about whatever we want, and probably a little bit of Master and Apprentices. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
They fly now! They fly now!
And we're back. And it's just us. So I hope you guys enjoy listening to me and Hereth talk.
For 2 hours straight. It's kind of
For
throwback.
2 hours straight.
It's kind of throwback to the first episode of They Fly Now.
Yeah, because we've had that one was us. We almost had a few where like people would cancel last minute, and then we found someone like right away. But this week we were just like, let's just do me and Hereth, catch up on some stuff, maybe a little bit of some life updates, some updates about anything. But yeah, so I guess we could kind of just start with Celebration.
Hey, we all got tickets. That was a crazy event because like there was like 20 people in a VC, and we were all like trying to get the tickets. And then like as soon as we got tickets, I think I was the first one in line first, and I got it. And then everyone just started cheering. It was like that was one of the most like crazy experiences I've had since a Star Wars fan.
It was, and like the only thing I can compare it to would be No Way Home tickets, but it was run a lot better than getting No Way Home tickets, because I don't know if you had any problems, Harry, with getting No Way Home tickets.
I did. I had to go back to my dorm room, and like it took me like 4 hours to get tickets, and I finally got tickets at like an 8 o'clock showing.
Yeah, because they didn't use like a queue, so like the whole AMC website just crashed and wasn't ready for it. But Star Wars, on the other hand, was like, okay, we know everyone's gonna be wanting to buy these tickets, so we're gonna have to figure out a certain way that we're gonna do this. So I remember like the night before, like I was honestly thinking, I'm like, there is no way that we're gonna get these tickets.
Oh yeah, I was like, there's a decent chance we're not gonna get tickets. And I was coming prepared. I remember I got like 2 hours of sleep that night, and I was like, I'm gonna get tickets. I was like determined.
Yeah, I literally switched my work schedule because I was like, no, like I can't be working during this time because I'm going to need to freaking get these tickets. And luckily I did, because I was supposed to work 7 to 3:30 that day. And the tickets went on at noon. So 3:30 would have been way, way too late. So, yeah, I got my shift switched. And then the night before, like the anticipation, like and the tension was at an all-time high in the VCs. Like
we were just like, are we going to get tickets? Is this going to happen type of thing? And then it did.
Yeah. And it did, yeah. So then,
because almost everyone got tickets.
We woke up. Yeah, everyone got tickets. Everyone that was in the call got tickets, which is amazing. And we woke up. I think everyone kind of got up an hour beforehand, around there, and so that would be around 11 my time, 8 your time.
Yeah, it was 8 a.m. my time.
8 your time. So everyone got up. Everyone's in the VC. Everyone is like crapping their pants. Like everyone's so nervous about these freaking tickets. It goes 11:50, and shout out to Jedi Master DePaul. You are the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
DePaul like reloads his page and goes, "They're alive!" And everyone just went quiet.
Everyone just like,
we're like
stormed. I had like 3 different devices running. I had my phone, and then I had my laptop, and then I had my desktop, and I was like going back and forth. And then whatever like got first, I think my laptop was the one that like got the fastest queue. I think I was the fastest out of everyone. I had like 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, I got the fastest time. Because I got because it got randomly selected. It was like it didn't matter who joined first. It was like it just threw you in a random order.
Yeah, so as long as you joined from 11:50 to noon in that 10-minute time frame, you were going to be then randomly assigned a place in the queue for whenever the tickets went on sale at noon. So then everyone, so you said you had a few devices. I had, I think, my phone, my laptop, my iPad, and my like home computer all had the thing logged in. and it was just nerve-wracking. And it had this little dude. So on the screen, it was like this bar with this little guy running. And that was supposed to be like if you were close in line or not. Oh, excuse me. And as soon as you know it, Hereth is like, my guy's at the end. And we're all like, oh my gosh, we actually got them. And then he checks out. And I think a few minutes later, I checked out. But I got so scared.
Dude, checking out was the most nervous thing I've ever had. Because I was worried it was going to sell it while I was checking out. So I was like speeding and rolling through because like it was at the bottom of the page. And like it had like a bunch of like, buy this merch, buy this, buy this, buy this. And I was like, oh my God, I just need to get to the checkout. I don't care about this merch.
Yeah, I ended up buying a lanyard. Did you get a shirt or a lanyard or anything?
No, I just bought the tickets and they're just shipping to me.
Okay. Yeah, so nervous. And I was lucky enough where I was on my MacBook, which is what I use for the podcast and everything. And there's like a little thumb thing for like your password and stuff you can use. And you can set it so it has like your credit card information in it. So it automatically detected I need to. So I just put my thumb down. It logged in all of my information. And then I was good to go. And I was like, heck yeah, we're good. And I didn't believe it until I got the ticket.
My nervous part about all of that was I had that all set up in advance, and it just wasn't working. Chrome was just not loading in my information. So I literally had to manually type everything. I was like, oh my God, I need to get this down now.
Go. Yeah. Like, I don't know if I've ever been more nervous to get a ticket. Because I'm like... So my plan is like my mom and my sister are flying out with me. They're going to hang out with friends, and I'm like, if I can't get these tickets, then I'm going to ruin their whole weekend too, because then we're not going to be able to go. So luckily we got them, and I didn't believe it until we covered this barcode. Until I got this.
Censor information.
Just
keep it at a distance, and you're just like, there you go. So people can't read your address. You can't dox yourself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, it was awesome. And we're excited. So I know me and Hereth are going. Luke from Pause On Podcast, Char J.
Shout out to Luke.
Alanis, not a Kyber, is going. Who else from our little group?
There's like,
Choco Element.
We have like a server, but it's just celebration. People that are just purely going to celebration from the TikTok community. If you want to join, just DM me.
Yeah, we'd be glad to have people.
There's 27 people in that server.
Yeah, we got like Sawyerism, Mandalorian, Star Wars Lawyer.
We got a lot of people. There's just
a lot. Discount Satan Star, Acrylic Coffee Works. Like
anyone you can think of from the community is it almost essentially going. Like almost everyone.
Yeah, and we're trying to make it bigger. If you guys want to like hang out or whatever, like let us know. That's what we're doing right now, is we're planning like kind of the whole week what we're doing, different nights and stuff. I know one night we may be trying to rent out a movie theater if we can find a movie theater that will play Kenobi, because
it's weird because copyright laws won't let them play like Disney movies or Disney Plus. It's really weird. Like from what we're seeing.
Yeah. So like Chris, Star Wars Lawyer, tried, and the theater he contacted were like, no, we can't play that. And then I think he was contacting one from Disney, right?
Yeah. Because they're like, hey, can we legally stream this? And they're like, no, it's copyright infringement. It's so weird, like how that works.
So weird.
So
we just want to get the gang together and watch Kenobi in a movie theater. Is it that tough?
But yeah, again, I cannot wait for Celebration, May 26th to 26th to the 29th. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be. Dude, it's gonna be probably the most insane, like announcement-wise, content-wise. We're all gonna be together in person. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah, I know we're gonna be doing a live episode, recorded, or we're gonna do the panel. So just like for Book of Boba Fett, we did the panel with Pods on Podcast talking about Book of Boba. We are doing the same thing with Kenobi in the first episode, because Celebration's right after the first episode of Kenobi. We're going to be doing it all live together.
And we're going to do the watch along and with them, because obviously we won't have the reaction for episode 1, but I'll plug the watch along where we're all watching it, and it won't be streamed. I think it'll be pre-recorded. We're still discussing the details on that, but we're going to be doing a giant group reaction.
Yeah, and like, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be crazy. We're going to Disneyland. We're going We're going doing a trivia contest. We're trying, which we may have missed the deadline for the podcast.
We did. But like from what I was seeing, it was like it's like the top of the tier of the podcast people that get it. So it's just like, there's not a chance we're not gonna get it, and we know
we're not big enough, people. You guys need to like our video more. If you guys sub to us, we would be up there. But no, I'm playing. But,
but yeah, again, that whole experience is going to be like insane and crazy, and I cannot wait to be there in person with everybody. But also, like we said earlier, something else small came out over like during our like they flying out break. We couldn't talk about last week because last week's episode was just 2.5 hours. It was really long, and there's no way we could fit it in there. But a little trailer came out, just Kenobi, just
a little one.
No
big deal.
Nothing crazy. Not like fans have been waiting for this since 2012.
No. Yeah, so that's another funny story. So I was sitting there watching the Investor Day stream, and my friend was coming over, and he like pulled into my driveway, and I go, "Get your ass in here! The Kenobi trailer's on!" And he was like, "What?" And like sprinted in. We watched the trailer, so then I call Hereth because you weren't responding to anything. And I was like, "What's going on?" And you were like in bed. I was like, "Dude, the Kenobi trailer dropped." And you were like, "What?"
No, I was like half asleep. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, yeah. It came out. Oh, dang! I guess I got it. Oh." Sorry.
I'm gonna avoid you to celebration.
No, I just realized it was Chase. I was like, who the hell is Too Slow, Too Furious? And then I was like, oh, it's Chase. That explains everything you've been saying.
Oh, I was like, who is that? I was like,
thought some
I wasn't
random...
like offended. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, this person, but it's just Chase. Ew.
I was like, who the hell is writing these messages? Because like, it's like, I don't know. It's like I've had like weird experiences with some creators. It's like they come at a level where it's like, hi, I don't know you that much. Why are you coming at me this type of level? But like, so this person, I thought it was just like a random person going at us like our level. Like they watch both of our content, and I was just like, oh, it's just Chase. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Shout out to Chase. Who's also gonna be there. We didn't mention Chase's name.
But yeah, so like I woke up half asleep. I did my reaction. I posted it on TikTok. I was gonna upload it to YouTube Shorts, just never got around to it. And I honestly think that was nearly a perfect trailer.
It did. That it was incredible. It was incredible.
It showed you just enough, like all the sequel trilogy trailers and like Rogue One and Solo, just enough to get you excited, but not enough to spoil the show.
Yes, like we obviously knew the Inquisitor was gonna be in it, and we got to see him, which I'm fine with the way he looks. I don't know why people like. I get it. He kind of looks a little bit wacky, maybe, but someone made a good point, and it was like the same species. I forget what species that is.
It was in Revenge of the Sith. It was.
Yeah. On
Utapau.
Yeah.
But
that species looks a bit wonky, and I think the new version kind of looks better, and the species looks different. Everyone from that species looks different.
Yeah, I pointed out in a TikTok that like the reason why they did it is the same reason as Ahsoka and Mando season 2 and Book of Boba Fett. It's literally just choreography reasons. They can't do that much makeup and that much like headpieces and have them do flips. Like that's literally the only reason why he looks like that. And people were like, "Well, it sucks." I'm like, yeah, but like you gotta sacrifice the look for better stunts. Like that's how it works.
Yeah, and like that guy from Utapau was in the scene for 5 minutes.
And then like he barely walked. He walked up, moved his mouth, and then walked away. He didn't do anything.
You could tell how stiff he looked too. He was like, Grievous is on the 42nd floor or whatever.
Thousands of battle droids. Like he's just like it's like he looks so stiff.
Yeah, it looks so stiff. You couldn't really portray much emotion. And with this new design, you'll be able to.
And like people were like comparing it to like being over the top, like, oh, they need to fix it. But it's like what do you want? Do you want it to like be like more CGI and make it look terrible, or like have it look rushed because it's a TV show, or you can have it look practical, look like that, and just have it more for stunts and choreography reasons? Because it's obviously gonna look different than Rebels. Because Rebels, it was like very like angular and straight.
Yeah. When the Rebels animation style too was very angular and straight for most characters, I think, and it's the same thing. Ahsoka looks more angular and taller than maybe not, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it looks like, again, it was based off Ralph McQuarrie's concept art for A New Hope. That's what the inspiration was for that art.
Yes.
And Ralph McQuarrie drew in a certain way, and they based it off for the 3D animation modeling, and things aren't going to look exactly from Clone Wars and Rebels, and like I just kind of accept that fact, and like they're going to look different.
Yeah, he's still going to be cool. He's still going to be awesome. And then that rose the debate, because everyone's like, man, I swear, if the Inquisitors give Obi-Wan a good fight, I'll never forgive Star Wars. Like, first off, the Inquisitors are pretty powerful. I think those people who are saying that haven't watched Rebels.
Like, the Grand Inquisitor is on a level. I get like the argument for like the fifth brother, because yes, Ahsoka did embarrass him, and Canon did a little bit to an extent too, but like the Grand Inquisitor is on a level. Like, I honestly think people always point to like the Canon versus the Grand Inquisitor fight, like, oh, Canon beat him with Padawan. I'm like, I always kind of view that fight as like the Grand Inquisitor kind of underestimated Kanan's abilities, and he just kind of got cocky.
Yeah, he's arrogant.
So he was like, oh, Kanan's nothing. I'm going to just like basically just toy with him the entire fight. But Kanan basically threw something at him. He's like, whoa, what the hell?
I mean, his arrogance is the whole reason they died. He's like, oh, crap, I wasn't thinking that he could just do that. Which is an amazing fight. I absolutely love that fight. But yeah, like there's a reason he's the Grand Inquisitor and not just any other Inquisitor. He's tough.
Yeah, he's tough as nails.
And I'm going to say... Yeah, he's trained. First, he was trained at the Jedi Order, was a Temple Guard, which you have to be pretty sure to be a Temple Guard. And he was trained by Vader and Palpatine. Are we forgetting that? Like, he was trained by Vader and Palpatine after Order 66. Read Vader 2017 if you haven't already.
Like, Vader, when he's training the Inquisitors, doesn't pull his punches. Like, he cuts off people's limbs, and Inquisitor's like, hey, you shouldn't, like, do this. It's like, you know, you kind of got to go easy on Vader. And it's like, it's not going to go that easy in a battle. You gotta learn the hard way. So, like, you knew Vader went
brutal.
hard.
They're brutal. Yeah, they're absolutely brutal to the Inquisitors. And the Grand Inquisitor is the strongest Inquisitor. Mm-hmm. So he's going to give Obi-Wan a decent fight. Will he beat Obi-Wan? I don't know. I think how it's gonna look is it's gonna be multiple Inquisitors versus Obi-Wan to kind of level the playing field.
Yeah, I can see it being multiple Inquisitors versus Obi-Wan. I also think the fight's gonna be different because like this is Obi-Wan and 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, sitting on a desert watching Luke. He's not like at his like best for dueling. I think he's rusty, and I think he's not used to like lightsaber combat. So I think. And also you got to add like the depression factor of like, you know, like his entire life just got shattered and he's been thinking about it for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. And the Inquisitor is pretty prime at the time.
Yeah, he's fought like 20 to 30 Jedi by this point and killed them all.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. Obi-Wan wouldn't kill him. Mm-hmm. That's not Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan didn't kill Anakin, who is a Sith Lord, because his morals. I don't think Obi-Wan's killing the Grand Inquisitor, even if he has him pinned down to a wall.
Exactly. I think that is the most important thing about Obi-Wan is like, again, I'm going to kind of transition this into like a point, like people are getting mad that like the whole quote of like Kathleen Kennedy being like, oh, they rewrote the show to have more of a hopeful tone, and people are like, that's terrible, Obi-Wan should be bleak, but like Star Wars, no matter what, is always going to be about hope. Hope always perseveres. That's always the main overlying theme with Star Wars. And like the show is gonna still have its dark moments. Hell, Revenge of the Sith has a hopeful tone at the end, but the entire movie is dark. Last Jedi has a hopeful turn at the end, but it's dark. Like,
Rogue One,
Empire. They all have hopeful tone.
Last Jedi. Yeah.
Like you can have a dark show or darker tones and darker underlying themes while still overlying the tone of hope. Like I always point to Logan as an example because like Logan is a dark movie, but it ends with hope. You can have darker stories with hope.
Yeah, I've never seen Logan.
Really good movie.
I'm really behind on like essential movies to watch. I feel like I haven't seen any of them, but it's okay.
But like the thing is, like with Obi-Wan, it's like I want, like, people are gonna get so mad at this, but like I want Obi-Wan to get his Last Jedi Luke moment, and like Yoda, and like from a certain point of view, where like he's just so just distraught and depressed of like what happened, and he's just doubting himself.
Yeah,
I want that Obi-Wan, because we've never had that Obi-Wan ever in canon. We've never seen Obi-Wan at his worst.
I think we're gonna get that. I want the Ahsoka chapter in live action, where Obi-Wan visits Shmi's grave. I don't want much from this series. That's the one scene I would love to see. If that was the opening scene, I would die. I would cry.
That being the opening, like cold open, would be amazing. I also want, from the Star Wars Obi-Wan's Journal and Star Wars 2015 run, I want rude Uncle Owen. I want Uncle Owen cussing the hell out of Obi-Wan, telling him to get away from Luke. Because like there's a great line from I think it's Star Wars Journals 2015, where Owen Lars says to Obi-Wan, "Haven't you murdered enough Skywalkers already?" I want that line. Like, I want mean Uncle Owen. Like, no, you're not training him to be a Jedi, go screw yourself type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll probably get that, honestly. I don't see why we wouldn't.
And I also just love, like, I love how Kenobi is 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, because we get a lot of parallels to Phantom Menace Anakin and young Luke.
Yes.
I love that they're at the same point in their lives. And like Luke wants to be a pod racer, and I like the headcanon that like Luke possibly watched his father's race but didn't know that it was his father. He just saw a young human and it's like, that's me. Because he saw like old
hollow like a hollow or something.
Yeah, like a old hollow reel from like the Phantom Menace pod race. And like he's like I want to be like him. But he didn't realize it was his father.
That would get me, man. That if that was like playing on an old tape, that race,
and he never knew,
and he just didn't know,
because like he clearly, like throughout New Hope, he clearly looks up to his father, and like that's like the main overlying theme. But like I like if he kind of like seeds, like sown in those seeds of doubt type of thing, and Kenobi kind of like set that up, and then because again, I feel like the show is gonna be like absolutely incredible. I feel like it's going to be one of the best Star Wars shows, but like being 100% honest with myself, it's not my most hyped. It's not even close to my most hyped. That's still Ahsoka.
Yeah, it's not my most hyped either. That's not dissing it. But I am incredibly excited for Ahsoka.
I just want more.
That show is going to break me. And I get it. Kenobi is the main. I would say that's like what everyone's is excited for. I get it. But it doesn't have the boy.
I just like with like Ahsoka.
Kenobi won't have my guy.
The thing that just excites me about Ahsoka is just like it's a combination of so many different like things. So you got like Ahsoka, yes. You got Force Ghost Anakin, you got like the like semi sequel to Rebels with Sabine and Ezra, you got the Ascendancy, you got Thrawn. It's just like all these elements coming together as like a one big limited series finale.
Yes.
And I feel like the show is going to be just amazing, and I can't wait. And I know it's filming as we're speaking right now. Like the show is filming. It's been filming for like the last like 2 weeks, and we're probably not going to get anything for another year. But I cannot wait to see what we do.
Don't say that. I need it now.
Because it's not going to go until like spring 2023, most likely. It's probably going to be around the same time when Kenobi comes out next year, would be my guess. If I had to put like a date on it.
Oh, that's so long. I can't wait that long.
Because like we got like...
I've been waiting long enough.
Because we got like Kenobi and Andor, then... I don't know when Bad Batch is coming out, because during the Disney event, they just put a blank like summer release on it. Like they delayed it. Because it was supposed to be like spring, but they moved it up to summer. So I don't know when Bad Batch is coming out. And then we got Mando Season 3, and then 2023 is just a mystery of like, all right, it's like, we know like all the shows are coming out in 2023. We just don't know the when.
We got Acolyte. We got Ahsoka.
Andor Season 2.
Andor season 2, maybe Bad Batch season 3.
And then hopefully Squadrons. I know, if Chase, if you're listening, I know you're hyped for Squadrons.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron, that's definitely a possibility.
And then the High Republic show.
That is a wild card. And the High Republic show, which
we don't know. It's filming
we don't
this
know
summer.
anything about. Yeah, which the thing I'm intrigued most about that show is how much are they going to take from the books?
Yeah.
Because like they need to probably do a good job of making it so if you haven't read the books, you'll completely get it. But if you read the books, it would be a lot better.
That's the thing. I feel like this is gonna be Lucasfilm's biggest challenge going forward with Ahsoka, the High Republic, and Acolyte. Is how do you satisfy book readers, but also satisfy live action fans that are not familiar with the characters? Because like with Ahsoka, I'm gonna give you an example. Like Eli Vanto. How do you introduce Eli Vanto to a casual fan? Because like if we see Eli Vanto, we're gonna be like, oh my god, it's Eli Vanto. We're gonna like freak out. But like to them, they're gonna be like, who's this? And then like,
who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Exactly. Why is he connected to Thrawn? Like, what is their history? Like, you have to explain almost everything in a set. Like, go High Republic. Who the hell are all these Jedi? Why do we know them? Why? Like, you gotta like establish everything. How do you like satisfy book readers, but also satisfy your casual fan? That's Lucasfilm's biggest challenge, to find that balance.
Yeah, and I mean that kind of is with like they've kind of done that with Ahsoka, in the sense that you don't like you have for them to figure out a way to satisfy the people who haven't watched Clone Wars and Rebels and explain the dark, and not with Mando, and explain the Darksaber and explain Bo-Katan, Ahsoka,
right,
and other characters that they brought from the animated show is kind of, I guess, their first step into that. But then Acolyte's going to be, or the High Republic show
is going to be their biggest challenge.
Yes. Because you have, already we have 9 books.
9 books with another 9 coming on the way. And then by that point, possibly another 9.
Yeah. Like, they're going to have to do this smart.
Because, like, I've had discussions with friends, like how are they going to introduce, like, High Republic characters? Because I honestly think, like, the best way you could possibly do it is you have new characters as the leads for the show. So each fan are on even playing ground, and then you have these legacy characters from the books play in as background characters. Like, you have Avar and Elzar as background characters.
Depending when the show takes place also. That's a big question mark. It's also a big question mark when Phase 3 of the High Republic is going to take place. Because there's some loose ends that need to be resolved.
Exactly. And I feel like they need to, like, establish, like, where it's going to take place in the era, like, what characters are able to be on the table, what are not. And it's going to be chaotic. But yeah, let's transition into like our topic for this week's, because like speaking of the High Republic.
Yeah, speaking of High Republic, let's talk about our first Master and Apprentice duo, which is
the most tragic one.
The most tragic one, Loden and Bell. If you guys haven't read the High Republic, this is your spoiler warning. We'll be talking about 2 High Republic Master and Apprentice duos, and then we'll be moving into Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Mm-hmm. So if you have not read High Republic,
just look at the top right of the screen.
Look at the top. Leave it playing. Leave the stream playing. We love your viewership.
I'll transition when we're done talking. So
yes,
your spoiler warning has been stated.
Okay, Loden and Bell. Where do we even start on this just heartbreaking relationship? I guess Light of the Jedi would be the best place to start. And in Light of the Jedi, I remember reading it and I'm like, man, I really like this. I really like Loden and Bell's journey. I thought they had an incredible journey. We saw them. What planet was that they went on their little journey?
The Hosnians. That's not the Hosnian system. That is the him and Porter Engle and Bell chasing after the Nile. What planet was that on?
And the what's it called? The Cantina band species, the Biths.
Yeah, it was like the farm planet. I forget what it's called. Yeah, it was like mountainscapes and farms.
I don't have Light of the Jedi with me, but yeah, that planet and that stuff was cool. we got to really see with Loden and Bell the High Republic's mentality when it comes to a lot of teachings. And I think the best example of this is Bell's fall. Because obviously like Jedi know how to break their fall, and Bell couldn't. Loden would drop him so many times and then have to save him like a foot away from the ground because Bell could not get it. And then finally, after not getting it like 10 different times, Bell gets it whenever he was saving someone, and it's just like, oh, it's so amazing. You love to see it.
In the words of Jedi Smart Malik, who's been on the podcast 5 times, he calls it the "What's Up Danger" moment of the High Republic.
It is. Oh my gosh, it is.
Because like Bell is like going almost like an inch to the ground. He's trying to just catch it, and he barely like uses his ability and instinctively like uses the Force to save himself. It's like one of the most intense sequences of that book. Because like Light of the Jedi, I always called like the tension and release book. Like you're constantly tense, and then it releases the tension, and then like it scoots up again, and like it's just like it like goes like that the entire book. And that moment right there is probably the most I was like on the edge of my seat. Because you didn't know if he was going to just survive. Because like the book establishes like right away, no one is safe. Anyone's on the table for killing. So I thought there was a possibility that Bell could die. But like the second you see like him like float midair and like have her in her arms, you're like, oh my god, this is like an awesome moment.
This is awesome. This is so awesome. Yeah. That's incredible. And just seeing how Loden interacts with Bell is really incredible. I love them. It's a shame that what happens later in the book, obviously, if you're still listening, you've read it. Loden gets captured on an hill.
Not only does he get captured, he breaks his leg.
Yeah, that's right. He breaks his leg. And then, because the thing shut on his leg or something like that?
No, he landed wrongly. He shattered his leg.
Yes. Yeah, which is kind of ironic.
And he uses the Force like as adrenaline.
Yeah, that's right. And then he gets captured, and he's in Marchion's possession.
And then we get the tragedy that is Rising Storm with the death of Loden, and then traumatizing Bell. As per usual. Thanks, High Republic authors. Stop traumatizing Bell.
Stop traumatizing Bell. I love Bell. Why do we have to traumatize him? In Fallen Star, when Ember got lost and they got separated, I was like, no, Claudia, you cannot kill one of them without the other. Like, if Bell died and then Ember was just there, like, oh. He didn't die. But if he did, that would break me so much. And then seeing how Loden interacts with, Marcian Tekka is very interesting. How he's hearing this voice. And what are their conversations? I kind of forget. It's been a minute.
It's like he's in his prison cell getting he's feeling the torture of because the Nihil are torturing people around him just to throw off his senses, but he can kind of faintly hear a voice type of thing.
Yes.
But I feel like this relationship, we'll definitely dive deeper to it with Ezra and Canon. This is the first time I feel like besides Ezra and Canon that when the master dies, you feel this just great weight just hit the characters. Obi-Wan with Qui-Gon, they barely touch it in any of the media with how he feels about Qui-Gon's death. The most we get from it, I would say, is probably Mortis. I would say it's the most we probably get the most commentary about how Obi-Wan feels about Qui-Gon.
I would have to disagree with you. I think Master and Apprentice, the epilogue.
Yeah, I would say I meant after. Obviously we get that scene, but after the fact, we don't really get this weight of without Qui-Gon, what is everything because we got a lot in Legends, but not really canon.
Mm-hmm. I'm not too familiar with the Legends stuff, but
mainly 2003 Clone Wars is the first thing that comes to mind, because there's a line in 2003 Clone Wars where Anakin basically is you're not Qui-Gon Jinn, you're basically you suck at being a master, and you're just damn Anakin.
Damn.
But
yeah, I should probably watch that before Eggy kills me.
But going back to Bell and Loden, I would say Bell is after Loden dies, or like that period of like before he finds Loden and gets captured, and then after he dies, like you just feel this weight like on Bell, like there's just something missing about him. Like he does not want to be a knight. He doesn't want to do this. Like he just feels like he's a failure. You're just like, oh my god. Like you don't feel this type of weight with any of the relationships. Honestly, like the only time I would say you feel it's like, again, like I said, Ezra and Kanan, and then I would say Ahsoka and Anakin a little bit too in the Ahsoka novel. Is the only times in canon I can really think of that you feel this weight of like, oh my god, like we lost somebody.
Well, I mean, Obi-Wan, Anakin, obviously, in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, but that's kind of different. It's just more like Anakin turned to the dark side, I gotta face him type of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, though. But then Bell's rebound after Loden dies and helping Burry is great, because in Fallen Star, whenever we were, I think I was like 20 chapters in day one, I wanted to read as fast as I can. I think everyone did. And I remember it was me, you, Charco, and Element. We're in a VC, and I go, they're just setting up for Nib to die.
Mm-hmm.
And Charco and Element were like, oh, that's an interesting theory. And I said, because I think what's going to happen is it's going to force Bell to help Burry because he's been there before. And what happens? Nib dies, and that's literally exactly what happens.
And my favorite thing as well is I remember after the fact I kept joking about how we were making jokes about Burry and how like he get lost, but there was like a children book, but like after the children book came out, it was like everyone's like, oh, it's Burry's gonna survive. And I read it and I was like, oh, it's just a recap of Fallen Star. Burry's still dead.
Burry's not dead. Burry's not dead.
It's unknown.
He's not dead. I refuse. We took so much loss in that book. I honestly think that he's not dead. I really do. I think we're going to get a Bell book, a Bell Vision quest of him finding Burry.
I just hope it isn't off-screen. I don't hope
off-screen.
I mean off-page in this case, because it's a book.
Do you mean like comic or something like that?
No, I mean like we start the next book and you already found him type of thing. I hope they
Oh,
they show.
really? You wouldn't like a comic or a book that is him finding Burry?
I'm saying I want that. I'm saying I don't want them to just gloss past that. I don't want them to just be like, oh, he already found him. Like I want to see Bell. Like
you're saying, okay. I thought you said you didn't want.
No, I want it. I just don't want them to just skim over it. Like I want that to be an active part of his journey.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
again, like transitioning.
I'm trying to think anything else. I'm trying to think anything else with him. I mean, let's get into our next High Republic.
Again, I haven't finished Midnight Horizons. This commentary may be different depending how I feel.
Neither have I.
After the fact, but I really like Reef and Comac's relationship. It's very different than like our traditional Jedi like relationship. Like the ending scene of Into the Dark or Comac being like, yeah, the Jedi Code is kind of BS type of thing. Like I was just like taken completely off guard with that.
Yeah.
Because like Comac is just like, yeah, the Jedi Code's kind of BS. Like, you know, just kind of telling you just not have any attachments because like it's like natural to have that type of thing. You're just like, whoa, because it just comes. It literally just comes out of left field. Like because you're reading the book, Comac's just having this tragic storyline about like how he lost his master, and then Rafe goes on this journey, and then he finds out he loses his master, and then like they bond over that. I thought that was like a great like way to combine their two arcs. But like the way Comac's like philosophy works as a master is just so different. Yeah,
I agree. He is. But what's it called? He goes on a
Are you thinking?
What's like the leave called?
Oh, you're thinking of Dez with the.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a minute.
No, you're talking about the Bearish Vow.
Bingo, Bearish Vow.
Where you basically go to an island and you just drive yourself with the Force. Yeah. And you just basically think about like what you can do and try to get it back. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like self-isolation because I think was there a character in canon that also took the Bearish Vow? No. Yeah, there was actually in Vader 2017.
That's right. What's his name? And then Vader kills him, right?
Yeah, because he's completely separated from the Clone Wars because he goes on the Bearish Vow and Vader finds him and just murders him basically.
And that's the whole thing with like the water and the dam, right? And then the dam busts open, trying to kill Vader,
Yeah.
right?
Again, we rarely see it in the canon, but like there's a couple instances where we see someone use the Bear's Vow.
Yeah,
But
yeah, which is a very, very cool concept. I like it.
But like with Reeth and Comac overall, I really like their just dynamic of like Reeth being like, I want to just go in the corner to read my book, and Comac just being like, no, we're gonna kind of like train and like be intense type of thing. They're just so interesting.
Yeah, and because Reeth is like, no, I don't want to leave you, Jorah, and Jorah's like, no, Reeth, you have to go.
Yeah, you're going to Starlight Beacon whether you like it or not. And he's like, oh, why? I just want to sit in the corner and read my book.
Just want to read my book. And yeah, that's always funny.
Is there anything else on Reeth and Comac? Because I think this one, it's just kind of like a speed round answer.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're definitely cool, but like, I don't know the most about them or remember really, especially because we haven't read Midnight Horizon.
I've read like I'm almost done with Midnight Horizon, and light spoilers, they get separated for most of the book.
Oh, so that's something.
So you're just like okay, I want to see their dynamic, and then they just get separated, and you're just leave.
Also, real quick before we move out of the High Republic.
Yeah. The thick boy.
The thick boy. So excited. I got Tempest Runner, the hardcover. I love this. I want to now listen to the audio drama again while reading this. Look at this cover. It is beautiful. It is my new favorite cover.
Yeah, that cover works really well on page. My favorite covers are still Fallen Star Out of Print and Midnight Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, and then the back has this. That is beautiful. And it has this, what is it, like the prison ship, I forgot what it's called.
Again,
but
I'm really excited to read the script version of it. Maybe, because I still haven't finished Tempest Runner. Maybe if I read the script, I would like it better.
Yeah, so like here is Thrawn, Lesser Evil. This is, I think, the biggest canon book right now, right?
Yeah.
This eats it. So it's gonna be hard to say on camera. It's literally like,
I would say Lesser Evil is still harder to read because it's with an audio drama.
It's still a longer read.
There's a lot of pauses and that kind of stuff, and like dramatic effects and that kind of stuff. Well, Lesser Evil is just a lot.
I'm gonna see how many pages this is. It is 570, and Lesser Evil is 550. So that's 20 pages more.
Jesus.
Now, obviously, it's a audio drama. So... No, excuse me. Holy.
And it's basically the script with the actors we're working with.
Yeah. Yep. Just like how Dooku Jedi Lost is the script, but I love it. I found it because I was like going to work one day and someone was like, I looked at Kevin Scott's Instagram and he's like, they're on sale today, and I was like, no way, are they actually? And I went on and I found it, so that's awesome. I was super excited to get that. You need to get it, Hereth. It's beautiful.
Again, like it's weird because like there's a couple books that I own digitally that I'm like I don't want to pick up again because I already read it type of thing. I did that with Ahsoka. I'm doing that with Queen Shadow, even though I just pulled the trigger and just bought it. And with Tempest Runner, it's like I already have the audiobook, so it's like I want to have it on my shelf just for completionist reasons. Like I want to have all of the High Republic on just one shelf and be like, here you go, like I've read it all, type of thing.
Yeah.
But like I'm kind of torn on getting it as of right now. I may get it later.
Yeah. I usually go on spurts with High Republic. Like I'll read a bunch of it, then I'll take a long break. And right now, after Fallen Star and reading a few comic friends, I'm just like, I need to step away. I can't do anymore.
Yeah, because with the High Republic, I love the High Republic. I think it's my favorite era in Star Wars. But my biggest complaint is they just throw a lot at you at once, and I feel like you have. I love the High Republic fandom, but I feel like they have this like now type energy where it's like you need to constantly be in the loop, and I feel like that's kind of like draining at times because you're just like. There's just times where life just gets busy and you can't read everything at once. And you go on Twitter and they're like, here's the spoiler. And you're like, dude, I was in the middle of reading that. Like, there's no terms of spoilers with them.
we got 9 books, 3-4 comic runs in 1 year. That is insane.
A lot to keep up with. So I feel like there's just a knowledge type of gap thing where it's just like, oh, I've read the books, the adult books. Oh, I've read the YA and adult books. Oh, I've read everything. And it's just like, and if you don't fit into like all those categories, you're just like, you're out of the loop type of thing. I think, I love what they're doing. I just wish it was more spaced out.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just a weird, because like I do really want to know what happens after Fallen Star.
I agree.
But I can wait. It can wait.
And I can't wait for the prequel books. I feel like that's going to be interesting with like Porter Engle, hopefully. Well, it's 150 years in the past, so how long do Twilights usually live?
Porter Engle's not Twilight.
No, I'm not Porter Engle. Just, sorry, I didn't transition well. How long do Twilights usually live in canon?
Twilight's.
Do they live up to a couple hundred years or
75? They're like
no, so we won't get Loden in the past. Damn it! I was hoping we'd get like a younger Loden.
No, I do not think, but we'll definitely get Yoda. I think maybe we'll see a lot of Yoda in Phase 2.
Yeah, for sure, because we don't know what Yoda currently is doing in the High Republic. He's still like hunting down like the Nile and just trying to figure out what's happening with him, and they think he's dead or lost.
Yeah, that's something that I don't agree with. Is we have literally Starlight Beacon falling and Yoda's not there.
I get like
what is up with Yoda.
I get like they want to sideline Yoda because Yoda is such a main player throughout all like 6 movies. Hell, I would even say the sequel trilogy to an extent with Force Ghost Yoda. I feel like there's just a lot of Yoda content out there, so I get why they're like, let's kind of put him in the background, put him on the back burner, let him just chill with the younglings.
But he should be. I still want to see what he's doing.
Exactly.
And I know we see him in a few. What is he in, like comic runs?
High Republic Adventures is the main thing he's in. And they reference him a couple times throughout Midnight Horizon.
Okay. Yeah, and like I don't know. I just feel like he should be there.
I hope for Phase 3 they just put him right in the foreground. Because like Yoda's like biggest flaw, I would say, with the High Republic, he's too much in the background, while in the prequel trilogy he's too much like in the foreground. Like he's just like, he needs to find some like middle balance.
Yeah, I agree.
Because in the Clone Wars he was so actively involved.
Exactly. Same thing. Like why? Because at the time it's Yoda, Vitar, or the Grandmasters, correct?
Yeah, Ofrita and Yoda are the 2. There's 3 Grandmasters, I'm forgetting 1.
Vitar.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I thought there was 3.
Yeah, Vitar, Yoda.
I'm forgetting
Let
someone.
me look. I have a thing. Let me pull up this graphic really quick.
There's just a lot to keep up with the High Republic.
Yeah, there's a ton. I know it's in this log somewhere. Where's that Light of the Jedi? I think Light of the Jedi. All right, let me go up. Okay, it is Oppo Rancisis.
I was thinking it was Oppo. I was like, is it Oppo Rancisis?
Oppo, Yariel Proof, Vitar, and Yoda.
Which is interesting because they're all during the prequel trilogy. They're in the prequel era.
Is Vitar?
Not Vidar, but Oppo Rancisis and Yoda are.
Yariel Proof and
Or Yoda is in Phantom Menace.
Yes.
But speaking of Phantom Menace, I think that's a good segue. I think that's a good segue.
Obi-Wan?
Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan is also an interesting like master and apprenticeship because like honestly they weren't one of my favorite master and apprenticeships until I read the book Master and Apprentice because like I like Qui-Gon as a character. He just never got that much characterization because he died in the first movie.
Yeah. And it's something I think a lot of people like. They want more Qui-Gon, and it is there. Like, read Master and Apprentice. That book is really good. Is it my favorite book? No, but it's really good, and you get a lot of stuff about Qui-Gon's mentality when it comes to prophecies and stuff, and how Obi-Wan reacts to those prophecies. It's really, really good.
I also just love the little information nugget we get of like Obi-Wan was rebellious as like a youngling in Padawan. It wasn't until like they are like our solution to that is add Qui-Gon, who's like the most rebellious Jedi, to like fade him out, which I thought was funny on the Council's part. They're just like, yeah, you're too rebellious, so we're just gonna pair you up with the most rebellious Jedi ever. And I find that ironic because he also gets the most rebellious Jedi after the fact. So it's like I love how Obi-Wan gets kind of like these extremes as like the master and apprentice.
Same thing with what's it called? Why am I forgetting his name? Dooku's other apprentice.
Oh, Rail Averos.
Real Avros.
Dude.
I don't know why I forgot it, but yeah.
Again, Master and Apprentice is in my top 5 canon books. Claudia Gray just always knocks it out of the park, and her characterization of Qui-Gon is just so interesting. It actually made me really enjoy Phantom Menace because like I really didn't like Phantom Menace that much until I read Master and Apprentice. And after you read Master and Apprentice, you just understand. You're just like, oh, everything just clicks. You're just like, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like everything with the prequel era when Phantom Menace starts to click. Like why Qui-Gon isn't on the council is because he got offered and he said, no, I'm not going on the council. So like that makes sense for why he's in there. He's very much like because a lot of stuff like she uses the Qui-Gon's characterization is kind of like some of the stuff that she also like flickers into the High Republic. So like you feel like Qui-Gon like everyone jokes about how like Qui-Gon is in the wrong era because if Qui-Gon was in the High Republic he would be better off. Because like I would think so. His philosophy meets a lot of like especially like Stellan's philosophy. Like I like him and Stellan would be bros.
Him and Stellan. Yeah, I don't know. I would say Elzar, maybe.
Elzar and Anakin would be bros.
Yeah, I don't know about Stellan, because I think Stellan's just kind of like your poster boy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Jedi. I don't know if that necessarily fits Qui-Gon. You know what I mean?
Maybe like, actually, no, wait. I changed my answer a little bit. Him and Comac would be bros.
Him and Comac would be bros.
They would be like, yo, the Jedi Council sucks. You want to just go chill over here and just go do missions?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I think him and Comac. I don't think him and Stellan. Just because I think Stellan and maybe like a Mace Windu would be bros.
That's interesting. I feel like that's very interesting. But yeah, going back to like Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, like I still think Qui-Gon's best scene is in Master and Apprentice. The whole "I serve the light because it is the light" scene. To like his whole speech to Rail Averos while they're like sparring is just it's S tier Star Wars moment.
Yes. Yeah, because Rail is basically like, how does that conversation go down?
What was the point of serving balance if the dark side's always just gonna win? So there's like no reason to serve it. And Qui-Gon, it's because we serve it because the light is the light. Yeah,
it's incredible. Chills. I read that so many times. That's why I was like, wow, am I forgetting this? Yeah, like I've read that so many times. Like it's incredible. It's one of the best speeches in a book in Star Wars. Honestly.
That scene is
there's
just
a few moments that stick out to me, but that's definitely one of the best.
Because like again, that moment is just so like versatile to Qui-Gon's character. Because like honestly, I feel like Master and Apprentice is, I would say it's one of the few canon books that I can recommend to people. Just like if they're just only seeing the movies, like I can just throw Master and Apprentice and Lost Stars at them all day, and they'll just get it. Like it doesn't require anything else you need to be aware of. Just Master and Apprentice is almost like essential reading in my opinion of Star Wars.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely a few. After reading the Padme books, there's definitely, I would say, Queen's Peril is honestly very essential to Phantom Menace. I know you're not there yet. Yeah. You should be. But it's very essential. That book, so you kind of get Master and Apprentice is a lot of the behind the scenes, not behind the scenes because obviously it's before Phantom Menace. You get a lot of Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon content, right?
Yeah.
Queen's Peril, you get all of the politics on Naboo and a little bit of politics in the galaxy during Phantom Menace. So
Yeah, I know.
after reading that book, the politics make a lot more sense. I wouldn't say they make perfect sense, but I would say that they make a lot of sense. You see Senate meetings of what's going on and just different things. So
Yeah, but like going back to again, I read the first 50 pages of Queen's Shadow, and I honestly like that alone like explained like Padme's like philosophy during the prequel trilogy. It helped me understand like her outfits and like why the makeup's in a certain way, why they speak in a certain way, like why Padme speaks. Because I never understood that. Like, why does Padme always speak like monotone like this? Always. I'm like, what? What was that? Like, that was a weird direction.
Wait, how far are you in?
50 pages in the Queen's Shadow. I just got done with the Palpatine meeting with her and Palpatine.
Yeah.
Like that whole like first 50 pages, like a lot just clicked with like why like Naboo has these certain practices with like queens. I'm like that makes sense why they speak like that, because they need to speak that way. So
she talks this.
Yeah, when
so it's easy to
sub people in and out.
Yeah, it's very easy, and you see the building of that in Queen's Peril.
Yeah,
some trial and error. Some this and that, like just little things, like so good. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, like everything with and like their dresses. I don't know if you're there yet, but I mean,
I'm there. They talk about how
minor spoiler.
There's bodyguard armor in their dresses. Yes.
Yeah, there's bodyguard armor in their dresses, and the reason they're so extravagant is because it's easy. If you were to put Sabe into that outfit, you couldn't tell because there's so much makeup and so much of a headpiece and a headdress and of a dress, and they're about the same height. So, and then you on top of that use the monotone voice. You can't tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Like that's probably my favorite part of the Padme novels is that kind of stuff. It's really, really great.
Again, so like that kind of goes back to like our point about like essential reading. Is like we basically are saying the Padme trilogy, Lost Stars, and Master and Apprentice are like essential reading.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't. Lost Stars is my favorite book. I don't necessarily know if it's essential to the movies. I think it's, if you're gonna get into reading Star Wars, I would say Lost Stars is the best way to get into it. But I don't know if it's like it doesn't necessarily. I guess it does layer movies.
Force Awakens gets its whole layer.
With any characters. Yeah, that's true. It brings a lot to Force Awakens, but like the way that Queen's Peril layers and Master and Apprentice layers Phantom Menace is incredible. I don't think anything else on my shelf that's like. I would say Thrawn, the first Thrawn series, is essential to Rebels.
Yeah, if you're watching Rebels for the first time, read that. If let's say you're a live action casual fan, you're just watching Mando season 2, you're like, who's Thrawn? Would not recommend it, because you need to watch Rebels, at least the first 2 seasons of Rebels before you can jump into Thrawn. You need to understand like Price and Thrawn, like you need to understand like what's going on before you. Like, the Thrawn book does a really good job of like showing Thrawn's upbringing through the Empire. But like if you just throw like a casual live action fan Thrawn, they're gonna be like, what the hell?
They're gonna be like, well, who is this guy? Bloodline. Have you read Bloodline?
I read like the first 10 chapters. Yeah, pretty essential reading.
Bloodline is an essential book to the sequels. I recommend that book to a lot of people who are confused about the sequels. Which you should finish it. I won't get into too deep of spoilers, but it's politics. I know politics sounds really boring.
It's a political thriller.
It gives you why Han is the way he is, why Leia is the way she is. You see a lot of their relationship with Ben. You see why she is a certain way she is in the galaxy and dealing with her politics and everything, and there's valid reasons towards that. There's a big giant thing that happens in the book, which I'm obviously not going to spoil, that changes everything. It changes everything about Leia's life going forward. And I honestly think that book's incredible. It gives you a background to who characters were on Hosnian Prime. It tells you what Hosnian Prime is, because I think that's another thing. I wish in the sequels they did, and I obviously sequels aren't perfect, prequels aren't perfect, OT isn't perfect.
Yeah.
One of the complaints I do have about the sequels is I wish they gave us, maybe it feels only 5 minutes of a scene on Hosnian Prime explaining who everyone is, what exactly it was, before they just blew it up. And then I think everyone was kind of like, oh, okay.
I feel like
I don't know what this is.
I feel like the studio, especially like Lucasfilm, were scared in general to kind of touch that territory, because at the time the prequel trilogy was extremely hated. So I feel like they were kind of scared to touch the political aspect of Star Wars, or just like, we don't want to touch it type of thing, because like if we touch it, like people are gonna get mad at us that it's too similar to the prequel trilogy. So I feel like with Force Awakens in particular, they're very much like leaning into the OT aspect of like fun Star Wars adventures. So I feel like they were too scared to touch that. So I feel like that's why they just did the Guide to the Force Awakens books, where it's just like, here are all these books you want to read if you want to understand like the politics and how everything works and how we got to this point type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Instead of doing like what the Phantom Menace did. But the Phantom Menace didn't really do it well either. That's the thing. It's just, you still have Queen's Peril to guide you through the politics. But anyway, yeah.
Getting back to Master and Apprentices.
Bloodline's really good. Back to Master and Apprentices. I don't even know how we got...
We were talking about essential reading. We just got off topic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, back to our next one. Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Oh, yeah.
Which, the classic, I mean... They're amazing.
I mean, it's kind of like the basic one everyone kind of goes to, because that's like the most like established one, obviously, and the like saga in general. Again, I really didn't start to appreciate them until about Clone Wars. It was when I started watching the 7th season of Clone Wars, I was like, I get it, because like with the Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, like when Obi-Wan's describing to Luke his relationship with Anakin, I'm like, I don't see it with the prequel trilogy. It wasn't until I watched Clone Wars I'm like, okay, that makes sense for what Obi-Wan was saying about Anakin.
Yeah, I mean, I think the prequels did a good job of showing it, but they're like, the prequels just took a giant gap and we didn't see any of their relationship bonding.
No, because they're in stranded Attack of the Clones, and then they're buddy buddies in Revenge of the Sith. You're just like, where do they get? How do they get together through the war? And you're like you get the understanding, like, okay, the war brought them together, but you don't really get to see it.
Yeah, we get to see that in the Clone Wars. But I mean, like, seeing Obi-Wan, you're a brother to me, Anakin, is heart-wrenching.
My favorite still Obi-Wan and Anakin aspect, because I feel like what I love about what Clone Wars did with Obi-Wan and Anakin is they made Obi-Wan and Anakin mirrors of each other, because Obi-Wan and Anakin almost go through the same like heartbreaks, and it's how they take it is what makes them different. Anakin, when he takes it, is like he just can't let go of his attachments. He just physically cannot let go of like his relationships and everything. While Obi-Wan is very much like, I'm serving the Council, I'm serving the Jedi, I'm a Jedi first and a person second type of thing. So like, yeah, how I use it's like, Anakin sees Padme's visions of her dying. Anakin's like, I can't let go of it. I have to like find any way to prevent it. Obi-Wan sees Satine die, and his first method is, I'm not gonna break, screw you type of thing. Like, that's how he kind of like takes it. Like the scene of Obi-Wan telling Maul like, no, I'm not gonna break, just because like, yeah, you're gonna kill Satine right here. I'm gonna feel sad. I'm gonna feel depressed. Like, I still have this relationship with her, but I'm not gonna like let my attachments get in the way.
Yeah, it just Obi-Wan knew how to handle that stuff, and I mean, I think a large majority of it had to do with how Anakin was raised, and he didn't have a father, didn't have a mother, which doesn't forgive him for doing the horrible things, but you do definitely get some like maybe a little bit of sympathy for Anakin. I'm not the biggest Anakin stan. I'll put it out there.
No, I'm not either.
I think Anakin's cool. I think he's a cool character. He's just not.
He's a cautionary tale at the end of the day.
he's a cautionary tale, and I just can't like get that. I don't know. I get it, but like I don't know. I never had that connection with Anakin.
No, it wasn't until Clone Wars that I was like I get it, because like with the prequel trilogy, like again I don't want to bash it, because like Anakin didn't really have a rise and a fall. It was just like he fell, and you're just like okay. And then Clone Wars, you're like okay, you see the rise of like the war hero, and then see him fall.
Yes,
so
exactly.
And
you see that all the amazing things he did, because he did do really, really amazing things. But in the end, he wasn't. He made some horrible decisions. But yeah, Obi-Wan Anakin.
You have anything else to add on that, or?
Trying to think of essential reads. Nothing really. I guess we have
Brotherhood when it comes out in May.
Brotherhood coming out, which hopefully we'll be getting early.
Yeah, can't wait to can't wait to see what type of content comes from that soonish.
Yeah, that should be really, really cool.
But moving to like our next Master and Apprenticeship, I would say Anakin and Ahsoka. I feel like again, like I was hinting at with Loden and Bell, like what I like about Ahsoka and Anakin is obviously like the tragedy aspect of like as viewers, you knew Anakin and Ahsoka wasn't gonna last. Like how long you're just waiting for like it kind of to go off, like for like what was gonna happen. And I remember while I was watching Clone Wars, this is 2016, 2017. I watched Rebels, obviously, but I didn't know what generally happened. Like you just like Revenge of the Sith was just like a mystery, because obviously Clone Wars ended at season 5 and her just leaving the Order. You're just like, what happened next? Like they keep referencing like Siege of Mandalore and that kind of stuff, and you're just like, okay, what happened with Ahsoka and Anakin? You'll never get that answer. So I really like how Dave Filoni just like hones in on this aspect of like Ahsoka and Anakin's relationship, and like how it's different, but like that's kind of the problem. Like I see a lot of people like point at like Luminara and Barriss like as like they're like the problem. There's like this is the problem with the Jedi. I'm like in reality that's kind of how it like the relationship should go. It's like people always are like, oh, Luminara and Barriss don't have a relationship. I'm like, yeah, they do though. You're seeing them in the middle of an active war situation, while with Anakin and Ahsoka, like they're always just like this brother sister type relationship where it's like, oh, let's joke about this, like let's make this a game type of thing. While Luminara and Barriss are just straight business. Let's
a lot
get
more
this done.
serious. I mean, and we see that care that Anakin has for Ahsoka. He has so much care for her, like whenever she gets captured. In 2 days, I'm gonna be talking on the Podzone podcast about the Ahsoka captured arc.
Which I honestly think that's the best showcase for Anakin and Ahsoka's relationship, because like once Ahsoka gets captured, Anakin just does not let go. Plo Koon's like, hey, let's get out of here. You need to focus on like going back to the Jedi Temple. We can focus on like what's our next mission. And Anakin's like, no, we need to find her. Like this is ridiculous. And Plo Koon's like, dude, you need to calm down.
Yeah, and Anakin blames himself. He's like, I should have done more. I should have been better. Ahsoka's like, no, I messed up, Master. I'm sorry.
Because like I love like it's not really highlighted much, because like it's very much in the background for most of it. But Plo Koon and Ahsoka have a really interesting like fun relationship of like
they do. Yeah.
Because like Plo Koon is just like, hey, I found you when you were a youngling. I left you into the Order, but I'm still chill with you type of thing. And they still have, like this fun relationship, like the scene of like Plo Koon taking Ahsoka into the bar to investigate like what's going on with the mystery. I forget what episode it was. I think it was the Cad Bane arc when the holocron
heist.
Yeah, like Cad Bane, or not Cad Bane, when Plo Koon takes her into the bar and like they're trying to investigate what's going on, and the guy like tries to interrogate Ahsoka, and then
yes.
Plo Koon's like, it's like, you want to test your theory type of thing, like lets Ahsoka just unleash on the guy. I thought that was like a hilarious like scene, like Plo Koon is just like, I don't know like how to describe. He's just like the fun uncle of like the group. He's like the fun and wise uncle. Yeah. He's like, I'm just like, I found you in your youngling type of thing, so I'm just gonna let you kind of like be like on like loose type of thing. Like
yeah,
we see it in Citadel as well. Like when Anakin and Obi-Wan are like, no, you're not coming on this mission. It's too dangerous for you. And Ahsoka just goes right to Plo Koon and is like, hey, can you let me on the mission? Can you just like override them? And then he's like, yeah. And he just lets him he sneaks him on to the mission. It's just like, it's just stuff like that where like I love Plo Koon and Ahsoka's like relationship, and I love how like in a sense, they did it again in the sequel era with like Ahsoka and Grogu, because they have a very similar type of relationship.
They do. That's actually a really good
There's a concept.
parallel.
There's a concept art piece of like Ahsoka reaching down to Grogu, and there's a similar concept art piece from an unfinished arc with Clone Wars of Plo Koon doing the same thing to Ahsoka.
Oh, that's very interesting. I like that a lot, actually.
But like going back to Anakin and Ahsoka, like people talk a lot about how like, oh, if Ahsoka was in the Jedi Temple at the time because she resented it, and I posted a clip on TikTok about from Filoni, and again it represents my thoughts as well. Like, no matter what would have happened, like you could have flipped the order of things. Like, what if Anakin went to Mandalore, or what if Ahsoka was in the Order and didn't leave? I think no matter what would have happened, I think Anakin's fall was just inevitable. Like, there's nothing you can do to prevent it. Like, Palpatine was going to do anything necessary just to get him to the dark side.
Yes.
He was willing to kill anyone to get in his way just to make him fall. He would have killed Ahsoka, he would have killed Obi-Wan, he would have done anything just to, like, piss Anakin off.
Yeah.
Because Palpatine's will is stronger than Anakin's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously Anakin's we see is strong, and he cares so much, but that he almost cares too much to a fault.
So, like,
and
again, like, I love how, like, Ahsoka blames herself for Anakin's fall, but like as Filoni says, there's nothing you can really do about it. Like if you put Ahsoka in the temple, there's nothing you can do about it. But like try telling Ahsoka, hey, Anakin was inevitable. She'd be like, no, screw you. Like that's my master. I can do anything to prevent him from falling. Like like you see that in Rebels season 2 when Ahsoka tries to reach out to Anakin and it's like, come back with me. We could like redeem you to the light. Anakin's like, no, you're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you myself. Like, nobody can redeem Ahsoka. Or no, Ahsoka, Anakin.
That's such a great scene. That fight is one of my favorite Star Wars fights, if not my favorite Star Wars fight.
It's like that scene is like one of the most tense scenes in all of Rebels. It's like, because at the time when you're watching it for the first time, obviously because when I watched it was like 2015, 2016, you don't know what was going to happen to Ahsoka's character. That could have been the end of her character, for all you knew. So, like, it was the most tense duel ever.
Yeah. And the I am no Jedi moment. Oh, I love Rebels. Love Rebels. So good. So good.
And just the way you see, like, Anakin come out for, like, a split second and he just retreats back into himself is one of the...
Ahsoka.
Yeah. No. It's just, like, that visual is so good. Like, the cracked mask.
Yes.
Of like who Anakin's become and like what he's trying to like retreat into.
Yeah. And then it's obviously Ahsoka talking about Anakin in Mando and in Book of Boba Fett.
And War Between Worlds as well. When Ezra tries to like when he has this whole moment like I can save anyone type scene, and Ahsoka sees the parallel between Ezra and Anakin, and she's like, hey, I can't save Anakin, you can't save Canon, we're in the same boat type of thing.
Yeah.
And she talks him off the bridge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love Ezra.
Well, is there any last thoughts on
Ezra.
Anakin and Ahsoka before we transition to Ezra and Canon?
No, let's talk Ezra and Canon. I love their relationship. They have one of the most unique relationships between a master and apprentice in all of canon. I've said this before in this podcast. They learn from each other. That is the main thing that I think is so unique. We see like many times. I'm doing a Rebels watch through now. My second 2.5, kind of third watch through in a year. And like just seeing them interact, seeing the way that Kanan would teach Ezra with like it was very unique ways. So I mean, like there's this one scene where they're flying high above Lothal, and on the top of the Ghost is Ezra, Kanan, Chopper, and Zeb. And Zeb and Chopper are like chucking something at him.
Oh, it's the milk cartons. Like the
milk cartons.
Like...
Yeah, and like Ezra can't get any of them, and it's just hilarious. There's also the one scene where Chopper locks his legs down to the ground, and Kanan's like lift Chopper, and Chopper can't lift. because he's locked down. It's like just so funny. But
Or in that scene, the same scene with the milk cartons, you get the funny dialogue of Kanan trying to like invoke Yoda, be like, "Do it or not, there is no try." And Kanan's like, and Ezra's like, "What the hell does that mean?" He's like, and Kanan's like, "Well," and Kanan's like, "I don't even know."
he's that's right. And he's like, I don't even know what that means. It's hilarious. And then spoilers for Rebels. If you haven't watched Rebels.
I mean,
But-
it's common
and then-
spoiler at this point.
Yeah, one of my friends is watching Rebels right now, and that's why I'm being so careful when I'm posting on my stories until they watch it all. I don't want to spoil because they know nothing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like they know nothing, and I'm like, don't look up anything. Do not look up anything about that show. Don't get on TikTok on that anything. Like, literally, don't look up anything because I want spoiler Kanan's death to hit hard.
Oh, Kanan's death, even if you know about it, will hit you like a truck.
It still does. I still cry to this day, but I got it spoiled for me, and I was like, I still cried, but like I couldn't imagine if you didn't watch Rebels.
It's just, it's a perfect. It's like the perfect sacrifice for Kanan's character. Because like
Perfect.
It's him going out and taking out the TIE Defender project because Price screwed up and tried to kill him, and like Hera trying to like run in and like save Kanan, and Kanan being like, no, I like this is my fate type thing. Because like the entire episode, Kanan knows he's gonna die. Like you could tell by the way he's like, because like his approach to the mission is different. Like he's letting Ezra take complete control. He's letting Sabine do her own thing. This is the first time like Kanan's so hands off with everything. You're just like, what's going on with Kanan? And like the way he's talking to Hera about like her getting her Kalikori and like everything else, like there's just this whole tonal difference to the episode. It's
cuts his hair.
Like he cuts his hair, like and Hera mentions to him like that's the first time I've seen your hair cut like that since we first met in A New Dawn. Like obviously it's a reference to New Dawn, but like the first time I've seen your hair like that since A New Dawn.
Why is this cover so bad? It's such a good book.
It's just like it's stuff like that, and like because like again this is like kind of foreshadowing because like Kanan and Deba Balaba's relationship is just also is interesting because like we see in like Kanan Last Padawan, and like I always joke about how like the Deba or the Windu lineage is honestly better than the Skywalker lineage because you got Windu, Deba Balaba, Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger.
Oh yeah. I don't know because the Skywalker lineage is Qui-Gon.
Well, no,
Obi-Wan,
Yoda, Dooku, Qui-Gon,
Yoda, Dooku, and why am I forgetting his name again?
Rail Averos.
Rel Avros. I'm a fake fan. Rel Avros, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka. I love the Windu lineage, but I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close.
I always do. I feel like Rail Everos is just like the redheaded stepchild of the Skywalker lineage. Not gonna lie.
He is. He's just the weird. What happens to Rail? We don't know how he dies.
I know Malik has been theorizing that he's gonna show up in Kenobi because we don't know what his canon fate is.
That's what I thought was going to happen in Master and Apprentice. I thought Rail was going to die in Master and Apprentice.
Oh, there's the whole sequence where you're like, this is where Rail's going to die, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't. And you're like, oh, wait.
Because they make you think the entire book that Rail is like the snake. Like, oh, he's the one that's been like ratting everyone out. But it's not Rail.
Yeah.
So I like that, like how they kind of foreshadowed that. But we're kind of getting off topic here, but like getting back to Ezra and Kanan.
Ezra Kanan. Kanan.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you can go.
No, like I said, going back to the whole like master teaches the apprentice type of thing. Like I just, like I said, I love how Ezra will learn something, but Kanan will also learn something. I mean, then one episode Kanan will learn, and then Ezra, it's like they go back and forth and they teach each other.
Yeah, and Kanan dying was essential for Ezra.
Oh, 100%. Like
Ezra would not have sacrificed himself and everything. Like he learned that through Kanan and through Kanan's death, that he needed to sacrifice his life for Lothal.
And if it wasn't for like Kanan's death, we also wouldn't get the great moment of Ezra and Palpatine. Ezra telling Palpatine basically, "No, I'm not doing this," because Palpatine tries to like manipulate him with the whole like, "Oh, you can be with your family" type of thing once more, and like you can just drop your entire life as a Jedi, and it's just like they're dead, and he just like force pushes them and destroys the temple, and you're like, oh my god.
That is one of my favorite Ezra moments, is when he says no to Palpatine. How many people have done that? How many people have stood up to the Emperor and told him no?
Only 3.
Yoda.
I would say Luke, Ezra, and Rey. Luke almost gets seduced. I would say Ezra almost gets seduced as well. Rey doesn't. Rey is just like facade the entire time.
Yeah. Ezra is just like he learns so much, and like to see where he came from season 1 to say no, I don't need my family. I found my family.
It's such
I found my family in the Ghost Crew.
And then
my parents are gone. I've accepted that fate.
Because I hate people that like complain about Rebels, because like there are people that are like, oh, after season 2 the villains get weak, but like season 1 was the Grand Inquisitor, season 2 was Vader, season 3 was Thrawn, and season 4 was Palpatine. You can't get bigger than Palpatine.
Palpatine and Thrawn.
Palpatine and Thrawn. Like, come on.
Yeah. And like the edits that always get me are the edits that flash from Ezra holding Thrawn to Kanan holding Hera. The Ghost Crew. You're like, oh my god.
I love the line. I feel like you need to get it as a tattoo, but like I love the line of Ezra and Hera's like, come on, you can like get out of here now.
I have to see this through
to the end.
That's my favorite. That right now is my favorite Star Wars. It has been. Honestly, I've thought about getting that tattooed on me, but like I don't like tattoos. If I were to get a tattoo, when we actually talked about this in VC the other day, we were talking about tattoos, and I don't know if I said it because wasn't really in the conversation, but I was gonna say if I were to get one, it'd be I have to see this through the end.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best quotes.
Oh my gosh.
Like, if that isn't Ezra's character arc in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
That quote gets me every time. He's just holding it. He's like, I can't do that. I have to see this through the end. And then it goes into freaking hyperspace. Ahsoka series, please come out now. Please come out now. Like, I can't wait longer. I need to know what happened to my boy.
Dude, imagine watching Rebels in 2018. It's been 4 years since Ezra has been gone missing.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I only saw it last year.
So a lot of people have been sitting on this for 4 years now.
Yeah.
But moving into our, like, I would say, because, like, final, like, Master Apprenticeship, like, yes, there's, like, Yoda and Luke, but, like, I wouldn't really count. They're not really Master Apprenticeships. It's just, like, all right, I'm going to train you. All right, I die type of thing.
Yeah.
I would say the last true Master Apprenticeship is Rey and Leia.
Yeah, Rey and Leia is. Luke and Yoda is.
A little bit.
I mean, we get everything on Dagobah, which is incredible. And do not, there's no try is one of my favorite Star Wars quotes.
And I would say Grogu.
But again, he's only there for like a few weeks. I think that's another big.
I think it's like 2 months canonically. I think they say it from a certain point of view.
Is it?
From a certain point of view, Empire Strikes Back. They say he's there for 2 months.
Okay, but like I think it's a big misconception is that Luke does not go to Yoda after Empire.
No, he gets a holocron from Yoda of the Clone Wars.
He did not go back to Yoda, and people are like, Rey got no training. Rey got more training than Yoda did. Or than Luke did, not Yoda. Rey got more training than Yoda did. People don't understand that. Luke did not go to Yoda. Rey was training with Leia for a year after Last Jedi.
Like, Luke, this is Luke's training. I'll walk you through it right now. Obi-Wan tells him about the Force. Luke, like, spars with a lightsaber for, like, 30 seconds. He dies. Luke goes to Yoda. Actually, no, wait. No, after New Hope, he dies. He gets training from a ex-stormtrooper in an arena, how to use a lightsaber. He goes,
oh, really? What's that in?
Weapon of a Jedi, which is the Young Reader book.
Okay.
Then he goes to Yoda. Yoda tells him more about the Force. Then Luke goes off to Empire, gets killed, gets his hands like sliced off by Vader. He gets training more from Yoda, from a holocron from the Clone Wars, which is not even Yoda. It's basically kind of similar to Anakin's holocron that Ezra uses. And that's it. That's Luke's training.
Yeah.
Rey gets way more. Like
Rey does get way more.
Like I'm not even like I hate the Rey Mary Sue arguments because like you can easily just debunk them. Like you could literally use Anakin and Luke as like counter arguments, and people are like, oh.
Yeah, but yeah, Rey and Leia is really great. I like seeing that. A lot of people don't like the montage. I think a lot of people think that it's like Lucasfilm giving into the hate, which I never really thought of it that way. I just thought it was a cool training montage of Rey training. I never really thought of it like a weird, like Lucasfilm giving into hate. I don't know what you kind of thought.
I thought at the time it was, and I understand now why it turned out that way, but when I was reading the crawl and watching the movie the first time, I was kind of like, really, Lucasfilm, why are we giving into the hate type of thing? But like, going into like Leia and Rey's bond, I know we said it during the Leia episode of They Fly Now, but the thing I love most about Leia and Rey's like Master Apprenticeship is they're very similar if you think about it on like a story level. Leia has to deal with the shadow of Vader. Rey has to deal with the shadow of Palpatine.
Yeah.
And that's why they pair so well. Like, yes, Rey goes to Luke for like a couple weeks, and she gets the philosophy of like why you need to be the Jedi for the rebellion type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like why Hope and the Order will survive. And I think that does drive Rey. But like, I would say Leia is more of Rey's master than Luke. Leia is the only one I feel like could understand Rey on like this philosophical level.
Yeah, and when you read Bloodline, you understand more of that, of what Leia went through, that then directly translate to Rey and why they connect so well.
And like people like always complain about like Rey's like training, and like it's super weird because like Rey already has like a way stronger like foundation than any of the canon Jedi we see as Padawans for just like lightsaber combat, because she was trained in staff, because staff and lightsabers do translate. She just needs Force training.
Okay, if people say that they don't, that is stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's not smart. If you're gonna say that stuff like that and like martial arts don't transfer, that is like, because that's I would say that they're kind of like a martial art. That those skills transfer. I wrestle, right? If I were to go into a jujitsu room, I would beat most people in there. That's how it is. There, to say that because she trains with a staff, she has no training with a lightsaber.
It's
like,
stupid.
No, she may not, but she has. She has that background that will translate. So
yeah, because
it's stupid. I can't stand that.
I trained as a kid in Taekwondo. They give you like foundation and like fist-to-fist combat, and then a little bit with weapons. I use like a training sword, but we got trained in bow staff. Sword and bow staff translate almost insanely well.
For sure.
It's the same choreography movement.
Yeah. I can't.
One is just like one-sided. One is like two-sided like this. They translate.
Yeah.
But like
you don't know your stuff if you say that they don't translate. Sorry, you don't know what you're talking about.
But like going back to like what I was saying about Rey and Leia is like Leia and Rey is great because Leia is there to like help Rey come to this understanding about who she is. That's her purpose. Her purpose is I'm going to make you stronger in the Force and help you relate to the found family aspect. Because like again, it goes back to like Star Wars fundamental themes of hope and found family. That is always what Star Wars has been, and it's always going to continue to just be about hope and found family. If people don't see that, I'm sorry. I'm not to be trying to be mean, but they just don't understand Star Wars storylines.
Yeah, hope and found family, I would say, are the two overlying themes throughout everything.
like all media, because like I can point to different like honestly, like all these books right here are about hope and found family. Every single one of them.
Yeah, to an extent. Not every single one of them. Like they're obviously like
there's some books that differ, but for the most part, like 95% of them are hope and family.
Like Rebels, hope and found family. Okay, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, found family. Rey, Han, Leia, Chewie, found family. I meant Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie. And then
Rey,
Poe, Finn, found family. Like BB-8 too. Like that's everything. Cassian, Jin, found family. That is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say on that regards.
Like we delved into it as well. Like, God, I just said. I feel like we delved into it like pretty well with the Master and Apprenticeships in Star Wars, because like I feel like, of course, we probably missed a couple here and there that we could have mentioned, but like again, I really do enjoy the Master and Apprenticeships in Star Wars in general. I feel like it's one of the core fundamental aspects that, depending on how it's used, can be interesting.
Yeah.
Again,
yep, I agree.
In this usual segment, we would plug stuff, but we don't have any guests, so this is just an interesting like conclusion, because like, really, that's like, what can we plug besides we're going to Celebration?
Besides ourselves, trying to think anything.
I mean, we already plugged that we're going to Celebration, and I feel like we already plugged the stuff we want to plug in the intro.
Yeah, I mean, trying to think anything else. Next week we'll be talking about behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars coming out soon.
Yep, Queen's Hope. We got the ARC for that.
Hope. I'm looking at you, Hereth.
I'll get to it.
Reading.
I am.
Which we're gonna have our review posted the day it comes out. The day it comes out. Playing at you, Hereth. Read. But yeah, we'll have that out. We're gonna try to do the Queen's Shadow one and Queen's Peril, but we'll see if we get there. But we're 100% having the Queen's Hope one out by then. And yeah, I think that's kind of it. Kenobi's gonna be awesome. Lego Star Wars content. Probably really focus on some streaming there on They Fly Now streaming stuff. But yeah, I think that's kind of it for today. Thank you guys all for watching us. We really appreciate it. I know it's just me and Hereth today. Hopefully you guys aren't getting sick of our voices. But
if you haven't yet, I would appreciate you could like the stream. If you want more content, obviously hit the subscribe button, obviously, because I haven't really plugged that. I don't remember the last time I told people to subscribe on this like podcast. I'm gonna be very honest.
Yeah, and it's tough right now because Star Wars is in kind of a dead period, so like the views are kind of low, but that's fine.
It happens. It comes to the territory.
Yeah, we'll get a spike once Kenobi comes again.
Like we had a huge spike with Book of Boba Fett.
We did. I just looked. That video has 4K views, which is awesome. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching us. May the Force be with you.
Always.
For light and for life.
We are all the Republic. See ya.